Hi guys, and welcome back to Dream Queen. Yeah, I know I look exhausted. Anyways, we're gonna kind of jump right into this. So as always, down in the description you can definitely find a link to my Spotify playlist where I have all the songs that I use. So if you are wondering what it is that I do, there's going to be a link below that where the introduction talks about what it is that I do and how I've come across it. So in regards to my water and fire reading, how I channel messages, I've been doing research trying to figure out if there's anybody out there that does it other than my family, like through generations, and I haven't been able to find anything. So I have decided to call it God, these dogs, Perla's gift. And there's a reason for that. I'm actually decided that I'm going to make a video in regards to it. Give me a second because these two dogs are going a little crazy. I'll be right back. Anyways, yeah, sometimes you feel like, oh yeah, if I'm by myself at the house, I'm gonna have more time, or it's gonna be easier. It's actually a little harder sometimes. Anywho, so like I was saying, I think I already said it. Down below in the description, you'll find a link to a video, and in the introduction in that video, I speak about what it is, what I do, and how my gifts are generational. So, and I also explain I don't read tarot cards. I feel certain things. So, again, you feel free to interpret things however you want. I don't feel the need to go ahead and learn what each card means. Sorry. And if somebody's offended by that, not much I can do about it. Anywho, we're gonna get started. This is going to be fire element. Now, again, one thing that you have to understand, I am tapping into twin flames. So I'm tapping into energy. Okay, so sometimes messages are going to be just that, what is going on in the soul versus what's going on in the 3D. And I'm saying that because I feel that when I say certain things, people have the assumption that everything has to be in the 3D, like in the earth and what you can see, and it's not always like that. So we'll get started. So this can be whether you are divine feminine or divine masculine. You will know how this video resonates with you if I say, oh, this is a song from your beloved. And it can be a song that your soul is crying out to them, or their soul is crying out to you. And this is my interpretations of the songs. The song can honestly be about, leaving someone or anything like that. But there are certain verses to a song that stick to me and speak to me differently. Okay? Remember, everything is about perception and how we choose to view things. So, for the fire elements, I got the song The Scientist by Coldplay. And for some reason, I know for a fact I've heard this song before. I'm not exactly sure if I've used it or not. I do not replay my videos, so I do not watch them. Anywho, so the verse that spoke to me was, tell me you love me, come back and haunt me. What I am sensing with the fire element is that their beloved, that's you, whether you're DM or DF, have consciously chosen to disconnect in some way. And what I'm trying to see how I can put it into words so that people can understand what I mean. So some of you out there are physically disconnecting because you know that it's needed. So you want to balance yourself and align yourself. And then some of you out there are consciously choosing that you do not want this. So while you're watching this, I'm not exactly sure, but whatever. So that is what I'm sensing. For those of you that are at a point where you feel that this is too much work, or you're struggling too much, or anything like that, those are the ones that I feel like, you know, I want to say he. Your beloved is telling you, you know, tell me you love me and come back and hunt me, because they feel that disconnection, that you are so frustrated and you're so done and you just want to like give up on everything. Now, for those of you that are aligning yourself, are working on you, and have made the physical contact, it feels to me it's like your beloved's heart and mind are kind of going back and forth, battling, as far as, you know, the soul is trying to let the conscious mind know that the distance is needed so that things can align and come back together. So I'm not exactly sure if that makes sense to you. It kind of makes sense in my head the way it's coming up, but we'll see. So let's get started and see what we see for our fire element. Why is it making that sound? I don't know. Probably bring the table up higher, right? Give me a second. Okay. It's better now. Okay. This has a lot to do with what has been going on, I guess, the past few days. I don't know if anybody felt it, but I want to say it was Thursday night. I felt a major shift. I have noticed that in the past, when I feel them, everyone else seems to talk about them or feel them like at a later stage. So, you know, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. But anyways, right now, and again, this energy is interchangeable, so it can be you or it can be your fire sign, are at that moment where breakthrough is going to come through. So the battle of like within, of like, am I going to follow my logical mind or am I going to follow my heart, is really, really strong. And the poles are kind of almost like balance. So whether is a small back and forth or a huge like back and forth, it's the same. So some of you are feeling that juggling back and forth, like, oh my God, yeah, no, yes, no. And the only thing I can say is to look within you and see what it is. So that's how I wanted to word it. So the only thing I can say, there we go, is logically going within you and listening to your heart and listening to your soul. And what I mean by that is being honest with yourself. Do you understand who you are and what you're here for? And from there, I feel that once you're honest with yourself, whether it's a yes or a no, then you'll be able to get clarity in exactly what it is that you need to do next. I know my readings are not like everybody else. I'm going to tell you, oh my God, look, I got a star. You know, they see you like a brighting star. No, this is, I'm trying to get everyone to see with their soul and not their eyes, or feel. You know, with our soul, we feel people's energy. And that's kind of like where I want everybody to get to, where when your eyes are seeing somebody, your soul already knows, your soul already feels them. And this is like with any type of relationship or communication that you're having with people. This is not just about your DM or DF, but I feel that is where a lot of people, like as collectively, are still battling. Your soul wants to push out so much, or their soul, and they want you to feel instead of just looking at what society and everyone else wants you to look at. And it's beautiful because and this is to you, to whoever is watching, this, and just try with anybody. Like when you go out today, like when you see somebody physically, take a couple of deep breaths in and kind of center yourself and see what your soul reveals about that person. And I say that because it's the quicker that shift is done to living from your soul. I know people say higher self. There's a lot of terminology, but remember, words are made by people, so we're created by people. So it can be interchangeable. It can mean different things to different people. I like speaking about the soul because that's what I feel I'm connecting with, my soul, like me, who I am. So the faster you are able to have, you know, your mind and your soul balanced out, where your soul can actually shine through and come out, then the quicker your fire sign or your divine counterpart is able to do the same. And I know that some people get upset because they're always like, well, why do the females have to be the leader? We have always been leaders. Who usually manages everything in the house? And I'm not talking about finances, even though a lot of us do that too, make sure everything is in place, even if we're not physically out there working. But what I'm trying to say is, a lot of females are getting upset with being the leader because logically, by what we've been taught, men are supposed to be the leaders. But there was one movie, and I believe it was My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where she wanted to go to school or something, and her father had said that he was the head of the house. And the mother tells her daughter, yes, he is the head, but I am the neck. What holds the head in place is your neck. Without a neck, where will your head be? So if you look at it from our journey, the twin flame, and I don't know why that's coming through, the twin flame journey, if we're the leader in the 5D and they're the leader here, how can they lead in earth if spiritually we're not leading, we're not holding what we're supposed to be holding up? Oh, that was deep. I felt that everywhere. I know. I did. I felt that everywhere. It was kind of so You don't want to be the leader? Be the freaking neck. If you feel more comfortable calling yourself a support system or whatever it is that you want to call yourself, then you go ahead. I mean, like I said, words are just words, and people are going to interpret things in their own way. People are going to hear what they want to hear. Perfect example, not this past weekend, was it? Whenever Labor Day was, I think it was this past weekend. I sat down and I observed my family talking, and we're talking about like, I want to talk about, let's say, we were talking about eating healthy, because I don't call it diet. So like a lifestyle change and exercise and stuff like that, and, you know, keeping your physical body, you know, healthy. I call it aligned, but they say healthy. And it was funny because one of my cousins, who I love, they used to say we used to look like twins, was saying a lot of things, and I'm looking, and everybody's eyes are like, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, finally they're getting it. I mean, I've been saying the same thing she's saying to them over and over and over for like probably the past 10 years. But 10 years ago up to now, they weren't able to receive what I was saying. They couldn't understand where I was coming from, because I don't follow diets. I follow my body. I listen to my body. So your soul knows how to communicate with you through your body to help you stay aligned. And I know, and I want to make a video about that, because it's more than, you know, if you go online and you say, oh, what should you eat to align certain chakras and stuff like that, those are my dogs. That's not what I'm talking about. And you have to really be sensitive to knowing exactly what your body is asking you for, because what my body asks for is not the same thing that Jupiter 1111 or Sophia's or Divine Unisouls, anybody. Like, we're all a collective, but we're all also individually like in a physical sense made differently. So our bodies are going to need different things at different times. And I don't know why I'm saying that to you guys, to the fire signs or those around them. I think it's more about breaking down through some barriers, burning some things out of you, or like out of your belief systems. As to, I don't know, I feel like some people are trying to go vegetarian or vegan or whatever because people are telling you that it's going to be better. Listen to yourself and see what your body's asking you to do. I eat meat. Have I been vegetarian? Yes. Have I been vegan? Yes. Why do I say that? And I'm not talking about being vegan for like a week. I was a vegetarian for close to like almost 2.5, 3 years without even knowing it. I didn't wake up one morning and say, oh my God, I'm going vegetarian. My body slowly stopped eating meat. It stopped asking for it. So I stopped craving it and I stopped eating it. And then, and it's actually kind of funny now that I look at it, like when I look at the timeline of what was going on, there was a lot of things that I needed to clear up in an essence. And this was my way, this was a way of my body clearing certain things out. I don't know why that came through. But when I had started looking into meats and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go vegetarian. And I used to keep a journal log because I was trying to change my lifestyle. I was trying to change the way I was eating because I wanted to fuel my body versus just eating just to eat. Because I thought that was my issue, which really wasn't, but whatever. So I started looking back at my journal and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't had meat in like over a year. So why do I want to become a vegetarian if I'm already am? But it wasn't so much about consciously wanting to become a vegetarian. It was about what my body, the transformation my body had gone through internally during that time, because it was what I needed. And then I'm a cheese lover, and I still am. Then one day I was eating cheese, and I was like, and it just didn't taste right. And slowly and steady, I started leaving all dairies and all everything. And without even noticing it, like 3 or 4 months into it, I was like, oh my God. And people were like, oh, you're a vegetarian. And I'm like, no, I'm a vegan. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah. And I was for about close to like 6 or 7 months. And then other things started happening, and I had to reintroduce meat. And if you look at the journey with the twin flame, we go through these cycles where we awaken, and we know that there is something that and not just the twins, not just the twin flames, but everybody in general. We know that there's something, and then we start looking and looking and looking, and then there's a period where we regress, and then there's a period that we keep going forward, and it's just an internal journey that just really never ends. But different things are needed for different parts of the journey. So whatever it is that you're choosing to change, or that your divine counterpart or partner is trying to change, do not judge yourself and do not judge him or her. Just, if it is, oops, sorry, I'm at the ball. It makes so many weird noises. If your body's asking you, if there's something that you normally eat and your body's just not interested in it, take a notebook or a piece of paper, a little small notepad, and eat and see how certain food groups and certain foods themselves make you feel afterwards. And then this way you can see what your body is asking you that you have to release right now when it comes to food, and what your body is asking you to eat more of. Because the more your body can physically work in this 3D world, then in my opinion is the easier it is for you to connect with your soul. I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna pull out a card for your DM's energy, the energy towards the connection with you, or DF, sorry, and then how they view you. And this is, again, I don't care what they mean. I have the 6 of Swords. So for me, the 6 of Swords, this represents that. The battle. It's like how I was saying, it's like the back and forth. And it's equally balanced. But at the end of the day, something has to win. Their logical mind or their subconscious is going to push through to allow the soul to come out. So this is where either the fire sign or you are stuck in, if you're, DMDF is a fire sign. But this is the energy that they're currently on. Again, we are all at different stages. So this is something that could have happened in the last few days, or something that is currently happening now, or something that's going to happen within the next few days. When it comes to the connection, I have the 7 of Wands, which to me is, when it comes to the connection that they have with you, they feel that there can be balanced, like an equal balance between the two of you, but there's something that they're not seeing clearly. So if you're watching this, whether you're the fire sign or not, your person, this battle that they're going through between the spirit and the soul, it's my dog again, to me represents this between the connection, which is what their soul is trying to let them feel and get clarity on. Because they see you as the 6 of Wands, which to me, they know that you're their perfect person. It's like you're them, just in the opposite sex. But there's something, again, regardless of what sign you are or what element you are, this struggle is your person. because their soul is trying to come out, not you. Makes any sense? So what I can say is just continue on working on you and aligning yourself, in an essence that if if you're feeling guided to do anything, as far as like when it comes to food or drinking certain things or whatever, then just go ahead and do it. You don't owe anybody an explanation as to what you're doing. Just do what makes you literally feel whole in every aspect of yourself. And your person, I mean, yeah, it's something that is already in the works in their energy. So it's not something that is going to last very long, if that makes any sense. Because if we're looking at the energy of the person, there's no, in my opinion, there's no way that their soul is not going to have victory, because that is what we're here for, to live from our true self. Our true selves is our souls. So it's just breaking down those little barriers, and it's like they know what the barriers are. Now is allowing their logical mind to understand it, which it does come in stages at times, but with what has been going on in the world, and with how vibrations, energy vibrations are being heightened so much, these things that would take sometimes years, and months and months and months, now are literally turning up in hours, days, and weeks. So I hope that you guys enjoy this. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.